Again, Israel and Hamas will be meeting in Egypt. So for more on this, we are now joined by Executive Director for the U.S.-Israel Education Association, Eylon Levy, and former Israeli national spokesman, Eylon Levy. Good morning to you both. Really appreciate this. Eylon, let me start with you. So the president calling this a historic end to 3,000 years of Middle East conflict. But he doesn't have much patience for any more foot dragging from Hamas, of course. And we posted, quote, Hamas must move quickly or else all bets will be off. I will not tolerate delay, which many think will happen, or any outcome where Gaza poses a threat again. Let's get this done fast. So Eylon, what really has changed when it comes to Hamas's stance? Do you truly believe that they will do the right thing, disarm and leave?
Well, that's the only way this war ends, if Hamas frees the hostages, disarms, and lays down its control of the Gaza Strip. And until it happens, we shouldn't believe it. Hamas is a barbaric jihadi organization that launched this war 2 years ago. It's still starving and torturing hostages in the dungeons under Gaza. And it has been threatening Israel that it will perpetrate an October 7th massacre again and again. So I know world leaders are being very confident that that's it, we've reached the finishing line. But now we still need pressure on Hamas to say it's game over. You are not going back to this war. If you do, Israel will have the world's backing to finish the job and obliterate Hamas's terrorist army. You have to free the hostages, and then you have to lay down your arms. Because if Hamas does not do that, then the next Gaza war will be only a matter of time. And no one wants a next Gaza war. This must be the last Gaza war. And that's why it must end, according to President Trump's plan, with all the hostages home and Hamas relinquishing its weapons and its power.
So, I mean, as you just heard Eylon say, Eylon Levy, of paramount importance is the release of those 20 still alive hostages who are now, unfortunately, as of tomorrow, they're marking 2 years of torture and starvation in Gaza. The president says the peace deal is tied to getting them out of there this week. And here, some of the formerly aligned Hamas militias already positioning themselves to govern Gaza gave the deal their support. Will we honestly see 20 live hostages emerge this week?
I do think that the IDF has their intel on this. The best guess is that there truly are 20 living hostages, and will they come home this week is all up to Hamas coming to the table and negotiating in good faith. And I think that they have not done that thus far. That's why many of us want to remain very hopeful that this deal is going to go through this week, that there will be hostages coming home. But we have not had the history. Hamas does not have the track record to support that yet. And so I think that Hamas will be under a tremendous amount of pressure from Arab countries this week to make the final deal. I think the Qataris and the rest of the Arab countries in the Gulf want to deliver a peace deal to President Trump this week. I think they want to give him that win. And I think Prime Minister Netanyahu also does. And he also has the domestic side of it, too. He's under a lot of domestic pressure to get these hostages home. But Israel has already made a lot of concessions up front just to get to this 20-point deal. And so it really is on Hamas to come to the table, as we said, to agree to fully disarm, because otherwise this is just a ceasefire. It is not an actual peace deal if Hamas is allowed to keep their weapons.
Yeah, without a doubt. Now, you mentioned Benjamin Netanyahu, obviously the Israeli prime minister, and he's ready to reignite the fighting if the peace process begins to unravel. Let's hear.
In the second phase of the deal, Hamas will be disarmed and the Gaza Strip will be demilitarized. It will happen either diplomatically, according to the Trump plan, or militarily by us.
Just, Eylon, your reaction to those comments from Netanyahu.
This is not a plan for peace with Hamas. This is a plan for peace without Hamas. It requires Hamas's terrorist army to be dismantled. And if it won't dismantle itself, then Israel will have to dismantle it. The whole world understands that for the sake of peace, Hamas has to go. It is the jihadi army that launched the October 7th war, dragged the whole Middle East into this war, that is threatening to do this again and again, and will not stop as long as Israel is still alive because it wants to destroy it. So the only way we get a permanent end of the conflict is if Hamas is disarmed, Gaza is demilitarized, and the Palestinian population is de-radicalized. Israel wants to do this the easy way by giving the diplomatic option a chance for Hamas to dismantle itself. But as the United States has said, if Hamas blows this up and refuses to dismantle itself, well, Israel is going to have no choice but to finish the job.
Yeah, well, we were keeping a very close eye on this. Again, both sides meeting today in Egypt. We will see what comes out of that. Joan Leslie McGill and Eylon Levy, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Really appreciate it.